Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast for all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time. I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics you might like to discuss and whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here because God is concerned about that which concerns you. So you may call or text every day on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart. Whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you by Fiji Water. You may already know that Fiji Water comes from Fiji and is Earth's finest water. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock. The water collects in a natural artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you who make a weekly or monthly contribution through our website at newlifeministriesinternational.com on the contribution page, we thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address the topics that are important to you, that you might like to discuss, and the issues of life you find challenging or difficult to navigate. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. And before I do that, I just want to say that I noticed that today we have a theme of discussions about husbands. So we saw a theme that was coming together, and so we're addressing those today. And our first listener and viewer indicated that your husband can never make a decision about anything. How do you get him to become more of a decision maker? So, first of all, let me say this. When you say he doesn't want to make a decision about anything, that's not exactly true. There are things that he makes decisions about. The problem is your husband would make more decisions if you stop changing his decisions. So one of the things you're going to have to recognize is that as godly men, what we understand is that God is going to hold us responsible for whatever happens in our household, good, bad, or indifferent. We have to take the responsibility as men that we're going to live our lives to make good decisions. Now, having said that, the decision-making process is one that each individual has their own opinion and their own life experiences to bring to the table. So, yes, everybody brings something to the table. The problem that you're having, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life, it's not that your husband doesn't want to make a decision. It's that he makes a decision and then you want to change the decision that he makes. And you find it necessary to make a change in the decision and then go on your way and begin the process without him being involved. So it's not that he doesn't want to make decisions. He knows how to make a decision. He's capable of making a decision. There are men who will not make decisions, but that's not your husband's issue. The issue is that no matter what decision he makes, he expects you to make a change. And what's happened over the years is he's just decided it's not worth his energy to make decisions that you're only going to go behind him and change anyway. So you want to know what you can do to make him more of a decision maker. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do, and that is when you present him with an issue, or you present him with a problem, when he responds and tells you how he thinks it should be done, how it should be addressed, how it should be resolved, allow that decision to play itself out. He's not going to make decisions for your household and your family that are going to destroy your lives. He's not going to make decisions that he believes is going to disrupt the quality of your life. He's going to make decisions based on the information that you provided, the facts of the information you provided, because sometimes we deviate from the facts and we inject our opinion. And he's going to make a decision not even based on his life experiences, although we use those in the process of many decisions we make in life. But he's going to do it, he's going to make his decision based on the information that's available to him that is going to enhance the quality of your lives. You have to be okay with that. Through life, you've been making a lot of decisions, and you like making decisions. You like being, in a position of relevancy. So when your husband makes a decision, you look at the decision he's made, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to make a revision to the decision that he's made, because you think that unless you have input, it's not part of your decision. But that's not true. And for all of our listeners and viewers, let's think about this rationally. Everyone has something that they're anointed to do. Every one of us has something that we're assigned by God to do, meaning this: we all have good skills and talents. We all have certain know-hows. Everyone can't be good at everything. But the things you're good at, and the things you understand, and the things that you have had a positive outcome, and I'm not talking about life happening, life, I've said this many, many times, good things happen to bad people. Pardon me, bad things happen to good people. Yeah, well, good things do happen to some bad folks too, but let's focus on what happens in our lives. Bad things do happen to good people. I'm talking about the gifts that we have, the knowledge that we have. If we apply that knowledge to our daily lives, we're going to, in most cases, get good outcomes. So what you have to look at is the fact that whoever's good at making a particular decision related to a particular topic needs to make that decision. And what I mean by that is we offer up the information and we make a decision and we stand on that decision. There can be no vacillating back and forth, because all that's going to do is disrupt the quality of your life. You make a decision, you stand on that decision, and you live with the results. It's important that we understand that when we're making decisions, it needs to be based on fact, not opinion. It needs to be based on information that is readily available out there. And it needs to be based on skill set. Okay, is that my expertise? Is that, I'm going to use a real simple form of this, because I've said this from the pulpit, so I'm sure at some point, if you listen to the Sunday sermons, you've heard me say this. I don't do any cooking in my household. I do cook on the grill. My wife makes all the sides. I'm never going to go in the kitchen and tell my wife how to make something, because first of all, she's a good cook. Second of all, she has the gift, the ability. I know how to cook because I'm literate. I can read a cookbook. I choose not to because I don't want to mess it up. But the reality is we all have something that we're good at. Stay in your lane. If your husband's making decisions that are based on enhancing the quality of your life, you don't need to participate in that decision. You give him whatever information you have and let him go for it. Just as if there's something you're good at, you have to Share the information with your husband. He should share information with you. And then you need to make a decision. Should we do that? My wife's been in healthcare all of her career. I'm never going to try and tell her what is the best thing regarding healthcare. You know, we have a monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. I would really be losing my mind if I tried to tell her what's best for all of us to be whole in our body, mind, and spirit in our body when she's the nutritionist, a licensed nutritionist and dietitian. So we have to stay in our lane. We have to know what we know. We have to research whatever information is available out there. And then we have to make decisions. And the decisions always have to be, will it enhance the quality of our lives? Now, is everything going to always be perfect? No, it isn't. But we are never going to make decisions that are going to not be for the benefit of enhancing the quality of our lives. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer and you have not been for the previous 90 days, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider, T-Mobile, at no extra charge. You will become a T-Mobile customer. And if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband is very set in his ways and he is not willing to consider other methods of doing things. And you want to know, how do you get him to do things differently? Well, it's very interesting because, you know, often we become set in our ways. As human beings, we do things a certain way, and if they produce good results, we continue doing them that way. And contrary to popular culture and belief that we should do things differently just because times have changed, that's not the case all the time. One of the things I often say is I love disruptors in business sectors, but I'm not one who encourages disruption just for the sake of disruption. In other words, just let's do something different because it's going to make me feel excited and it's going to be exciting to do something different. No, you know, there are things that have been established that have been done the right way that continue providing great results. So we should stay in that methodology. Okay. And you have to ask yourself, the things that he continues to do the same way, how has that worked out to date? Has it produced the results that you would like it to produce? And what God has shown me in that secret place of your life is that you have a great quality of life right now. Now, we're all working to maximize the quality of our lives, but you have a great quality of life right now. So overall, you know, there's some ebbs and flows, there's some ups and downs, there's some peaks and valleys, but overall, it's brought you to a good place to date where you have a great quality of life. Now, here's the thing you should do, is just encourage your husband to make certain that you all are being more effective and more efficient. So what does that look like for us? We don't want to waste time. We want to make certain that we're getting good results in everything we do. So we should continue to research the things we want to accomplish. We should never make decisions based on emotion. We should always analyze the decisions we're going to make before we implement them, before we pursue our implementation strategy. Because we always should have an implementation strategy in place for our lives. That's part of your 7-year plan, your 14-year plan, your 21-year plan. How do I implement what I want to accomplish. How do I implement a method that's going to get the results that I want to accomplish? So we don't want to waste time. We want to make certain that we analyze our decisions. We want to make certain that we analyze each step that we're making to get the best results. So we want to be effective in every aspect of our lives, personally and professionally. We want to be effective. We want to get the best results. And we measure the results, listen, by the quality of life. So when I talk about ebbs or flows and when I talk about peaks and valleys, most people examine their measurables are: how much money do I have? How much money am I making? They never really examine the quality of life. They're so busy looking at all the other components that they're not looking at the quality of their life. So when I ask you the question, how's that worked out to date? You have to say to yourself, okay, you can always make more money. The question has to be, how is my quality of life right now? Because we have to trust God that we're right where we're supposed to be every single day. We have to trust Him that where we are right now is exactly where He wants us to be. Because truth be told, we probably couldn't handle anymore. We would be making decisions that would be getting in God's way. We will be making decisions where, we're not being what God wants us to be right now at this point in time. So we have to say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to be more effective in my personal life and in my professional life. And then we have to say, what's my level of efficiency right now? Am I being as efficient as I can possibly be? Am I wasting too much time doing things that are not going to enhance the quality of my life? Now, you might say, well, I'm doing some things that bring me joy. You might say that I'm doing some things that entertain me. You might say, there's a lot of excuses we can use for not being efficient. But the truth of the matter is that being efficient means that we're not wasting 1 hour of God's time. We're not wasting 1 minute of God's time. Now, you might say, well, Pastor, that's hard to live without wasting a minute. The problem is the minute then turns into several minutes. Those several minutes then turn into 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes. And before you know it, it's a half hour. And before you know it, it's an hour. And even though we might have some moments of joy, it's not enhancing the quality of our lives. Now you might say, well, if I'm having joy, why is it not enhancing the quality of my life? Because at the end of the day, we're not going to maximize our success. And that has to be our goal every single day. Let's maximize our success. Let's experience the fullness of God. And then let's maximize the fullness of God. So how do we do that? In every component of our lives. And we should be examining every component of our lives on a consistent basis. Am I being the best version of myself that I can be? Am I guiding others, my children, to be the best version of themselves? Now, we all know that when they get to a certain age, they're going to do what they want to do and make their own decisions. But you train them up in the way they should go, and when they grow old, they won't depart from that. That's what the scripture says. So we hope that at some point in time, the light switch comes on, and they too are seeking a better quality of life. That's what we hope for. That's what we pray for. And that's what we believe God for. We have to really look at our effectiveness and our efficiency. Are we doing everything we can at this particular moment to accomplish everything? Listen, the future is before us. Things are always going to change. Things are going to improve. That's going to happen because God is moving in the spiritual realm, which we cannot see in the physical realm. But if you think back to where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you say to yourself, not just how far God has brought me, but you say to yourself, look at what God has done. Look at God. Because I have a better quality of life now than I did then. And you can build on that. You can build on that quality of life. You can begin doing things differently that will make you more effective and more efficient. And remember this, you're never going to measure the quality of your life just by money. You're going to measure the quality of life by the wealth that you build in your health and wellness, in your psychological well-being, and your spiritual growth. That's going to be the measure of your quality of life. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, check for their store hours. Stop in at their retail store. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York and at the Short Hills Mall in Short Hills, New Jersey. If you're in either of those areas, check for the store hours. Stop in at the retail stores. They have everything you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in either of those areas, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. So I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband and you have been talking about establishing a will for some time. However, you never get it done. You want to know what would I recommend to ensure that you get the will done and completed? So let me begin by saying this. What you'll want to do is confirm an appointment with an attorney. So notice I didn't say you will make an appointment. I say confirm an appointment. So that means find an attorney, call their office. If you know someone who knows an attorney, get a recommendation or a referral. Call the attorney's office, make an appointment, and confirm that appointment. And what that means is put it on both of your schedules. You know, if you were more proactive about this, I would have said sit down and the two of you write out exactly what you want to accomplish. But in this case, because you're not getting it done, confirm the appointment with an attorney, sit down with the attorney, and go over everything that you want to accomplish. And then have them draft your will. Make certain that you know exactly what you need for the two of you to not only protect yourself as a couple, as husband and wife, but also for your children or anyone else that you want to leave anything to. Make certain that you are drafting it all out. And an attorney will help you with that. They should be able to even give you a template to work from. But you'll want to do that because if you don't, you're going to continue talking about getting it done, but not getting it done. So you want to make certain that even the smallest of details, the very smallest of details, are in your will or living trust. You want to make certain that everything in the event that something would happen to either of you, that you both know that you're going to be able to carry on and take care of your family. And if you have adult children, And God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. You have two that are still dependents, and you have one that is a young adult. So you want to make certain that the young adult is taken care of in the event that something were to happen to both of you. All three of your children should be designated as heirs of whatever you want left to them. And again, confirm the appointment with the attorney. Make certain that you both are taken care of as a couple, and that you'll be able to take care of your children even after the Lord calls you home. That's the blessing in making certain that you have a last will and testament, and that you have a living trust, whatever you need to facilitate what you've built. Because that's real important. You don't want the state taking control of a good portion of your assets. You want to make certain that your assets are protected, and that your children will be taken care of in the event that something happens to both of you. As long as one of you are alive, you can make certain that your children are taken care of, and that their lives are good, and that their lives continue to be well. Because that's what we hope for all of our families. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, I'm going to take this segment of the broadcast right now to remind everyone, I said this yesterday, I'm going to reiterate this today. We want everyone being well in your body, mind, and your spirit. That is truly being holy, is to be whole and complete. So I'm encouraging everyone, reminding everyone, we have gone through the first quarter of this year. So make certain that you call and schedule your annual physicals, your annual appointments. Make certain that you schedule for your dental appointments, whether it's just a simple cleaning or whether you have work that needs to be done. Schedule that. Also schedule your eye exams. Anything that you need to do to make certain that your body is taken care of, that your body is whole, that the temple of God is well taken care of. We don't want a broken down temple. We want to build this temple up and make certain that we can live a better quality of life. We also want to make certain that we are engaged in self-care. So it can be the smallest of things to much more active things, like making certain that you're getting some exercise. Making certain, listen, because that's going to be good for your body and your mind. We want to make certain that you're getting some good exercise in. And we live in a region where there's 4 seasons, so I'm looking forward to us coming out of the winter, which we are in the process of doing right now. I've been able to get in a run recently again. I say to everyone, if you are a walker, get out and walk. If you are a cyclist, get out and start getting out and cycle. If you are a tennis player, go out and play tennis. Whatever you can do to get some exercise, it's going to be good for your body, and it's going to be good for your psychological well-being. Now, it could be something as simple as getting a facial and a manicure and a pedicure. Those are simple things that you can do for self-care. And while they're taking care of you, you can sit and meditate. But whatever it is that you need to do to take care of your psychological well-being, if you're going to the gym or you're lifting weights or working out, that's going to help your mind also. And then we've got to get back into our spiritual wellness. We've got to really make certain that we are increasing our prayer life, getting closer to God, that we are meditating, that we are doing everything that we can possibly do, reading the scripture on a daily basis to ensure that our spiritual well-being is taken care of and that we are engaged in our spiritual well-being. We want to be closer to God. And we can only do that by taking the necessary steps. Meditation, prayer, and reading scriptures. Those are the paths to getting closer to God. And we all should want to be closer to Him. We want our relationship with the Lord to be enhanced every day, every month, every week, every month, every year of our lives, because that will enhance the quality of our lives.